Well, I realized between episodes that I messed up the step order, so this is actually the start of step 2, but step 2 isn't very long, so we're going to do step 2 and 3 in the same episode here. So step 2 is applying the crystals. And there are 2 crystals on this, one for the clock for the processor. This is going to be somewhat challenging. So that's this sort of oblong flat mounted one, and that's going to go here on Y1. And before you ask Fanatical, I have absolutely no idea why they use Y for a crystal. Alright, so we'll just solder one leg of that crystal to make sure we get it nice and flush. And we'll do the other one. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and grab my flush cuts here and nibble off the excess wire there. Want to take those fairly close to the PC board. Alright, so the next one is going to be the Y2, which goes here where that white bar is. And that is a it's actually unmarked, but it's a 32.768 kilohertz crystal. This one is actually used for the clock. That statement actually does make sense, but basically the resonance of this crystal determines the clock pulses for the actual timekeeping clock. Okay, this thing is obviously going to be a challenge to solder, so I'm going to just kind of messily place it with one leg. There we go. And then we'll adjust its alignment appropriately. See, this one's going to be a little challenging. There's a little pad here on the end that we actually want to solder the end of the crystal's can onto. So, got to make sure all of that's nicely aligned. Let's flow just a little bit more solder into each of these. Double check the alignment here. Looks fairly good. Alright, so then we'll go ahead and again trim these down fairly as close to the board as you can without damaging the pads or the PC board. Alright, and then we're just going to flow a reasonably large blob of solder onto that end pad and hopefully get it to flow up onto the crystal, which it's supposed to do. You don't want to heat the crystal up too much, but a little blob of solder acts as kind of a structural support. So, alright, so that's that done. The next step is to place the start placing the LEDs. Now, I'm actually going to do this in 2 stages. So, we'll start with the red LEDs. Now, the red LEDs go at the hour positions, so at 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And they're going to be probably fairly challenging to get done neatly, but that's just the way this works. So we're going to go around, double check polarity as we're putting them in. The longer lead being the positive in most situations. I'm going to trust them on this one because the flat side of the LED is also the negative side, which is borne out on these LEDs. So we're just gonna quickly throw these in all the way around while I try to think about how I'm going to accomplish the next step. There we go. 7 of 12 placed. The other ones are going to be fun, because they're going to be the minutes, and there are going to be 48 of those to place and solder, which is going to be just super exciting and fun. I'm gonna get a better focus. There we go. At some point, I will be able to afford a camera lens that focuses reasonably quietly so that I can actually start utilizing autofocus again. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab the box that this came in to at least do an initial alignment on these LEDs, and then I will solder one pin of each LED into place. Like so. Ah! Oh no. There we go. Yeah, these are going to be fun because I'm going to have to go all the way around and straighten them up. It's going to be a very time-consuming procedure. I will... Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do the green LEDs off camera. I'll just like do a quick jump cut once I'm done with these, and then suddenly there will be green LEDs on this as well. Alright, now I'm just going to do my little thing where you apply pressure on the LED and then reflow the joint to make sure it's sitting flush, which I'm not doing on camera. I'm actually thus far fairly impressed with the quality of this PCB. It soaks up solder fairly nicely. Doesn't feel particularly flimsy. It's definitely a fiberglass PCB. But, yeah. Normally the PCBs that you get in these kits are a little low quality. Alright, so there's the red LEDs placed and straightened, and then we'll just zip around the outside here and place solder on the other pins. Nice plated through holes that are soaking up the solder really nicely. Alright, almost done. Gotta remember not to go silent. Dead air is bad. Okay, so there's the LED, well, the hour LEDs placed. So I'm just gonna, oops. See, and that's why you put your finger over top of the wire, so it doesn't go flying off into the distance. So I'll just trim those off real quick. Oh, there we go. finish that off. Just nip those. Then we'll flip it over and have a look. Alright, so there's our LEDs placed. Whoopsie. Oh, that was almost bad. That dropped into a place that would not be happy to have something sharp land. Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick jump cut while I place the green LEDs. Functionally the same as doing the red ones. There's just 48 of them, so it's going to take a million years. So I'll be right back. Alright, just a quick progress update. I have placed, done my initial soldering and leveling of the LEDs, so that's what they look like so far. So one more jump cut while I nip off and finish soldering all of this mess. Alright, just another progress report. I've finished trimming off all of the leads that I've already soldered. Now I just need to finish soldering the remaining 48 leads. So one more jump cut. Alright, so we're back, and I left, oops, that was a loud noise. I left the last 4 pins of the LEDs to do on camera, so we're just gonna finish soldering these last 4, like that, and then trim them off. And bonk, bonk, and bonk. There we go. Alright, so that's all 60 of the timekeeping LEDs placed. So we'll wrap this video up here. If you haven't already, consider clicking here to subscribe. Over here will be a video that YouTube thinks you'll find interesting. Over here is the LED clock thing playlist, and I think that's actually what I'm going to call it. And right here is going to be Patreon, which you can use to help fund further videos like this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in part 4, the next part. Bye-bye.